The radio has had a tremendous impact on society concerning politics for many, many decades. Various radio shows have been prevalent since the beginning of the radio. Currently, the most popular radio shows that feature politics are Pod Save America, NPR Radio, The Buck Sexton Show, Sean Hannity Show, Fox News Radio, CNN Radio, and many more. Each radio show almost always sways towards one political party over the other. For example, Fox News is more conservative, while NPR is more liberal. These radio shows talk about major news, political stories, and they give their take on it. The political radio was mainly set to grow up with the 1924 election with Coolidge and Davis. People tuned into the radio to listen and decide who they wanted to vote for based on what they were saying and what different broadcasters were saying. The radio with politics evolved over the years, as another most famous example of radio usage was with the fireside chats broadcasted by FDR. These occurred during major political issues such as the Great Depression and World War II. These radio talks gave confidence and hope towards American society as he explained what was going on and talked positively and confidently. As the years progressed, the political radio shows covered major events such as World War II, the Korean and Vietnam War, and the Rwandan genocide. Presently, with modern-day music streaming sites, news apps, and TV shows, the radio is becoming less popular, but it still serves as a major benefit as it helps to inform and aware the public of what is going on all over the world, as radios are easily attainable all over the world.
History and development of radios. One of the first companies to sell affordable radio equipment to experimenters and amateurs was the Electro Importing Company of New York City, set up in 1904 by Hugo Gernsback. Amateur radio operators quickly crowded the airwaves, broadcasting messages to anyone within range, and by 1912 the government had set up regulatory measures that required licenses and limited broadcast ranges for radio operation. This regulation also gave the president the power to shut down all stations, a power notably exercised in 1917 upon the United States entry into World War I to keep amateur radio operators from interfering with military use of radio waves. After the World War I radio ban was lifted with the close of the conflict in 1919, large businesses saw its potential profitability and formed networks, and national stations like NBC and CBS were created. But as the number of radio stations and programs outgrew the number of available frequencies, interference became problematic, and the Radio Act of 1927 established the Federal Radio Commission, FRC, to oversee regulation of the airwaves. The 1930s to the 1950s were known as the golden era of radios. In this golden age, we see the origin of primetime, when many families listen to the radio together, as many families gather for today's television primetimes. And by the late 1930s, the popularity of radio news broadcasts had surpassed that of newspapers. In 1934, the Communications Act created the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, and ushered in a new era of government regulation. The organization quickly began enacting influential radio decisions. Among these were the 1938 decision to limit stations to 50,000 watts of broadcasting power, a ceiling that remained in effect today. And in 1949, the FCC established the Fairness Doctrine as a rule stating that if broadcasters editorialized in favor of a position on one particular issue, they had to give equal time to all reasonable positions on that issue.
Yet we know between what she erased and what she hid and what her lawyers hid, there were over 17,800 emails that were work-related, which she failed to surrender.
FDR acted as a gatekeeper through his handling of his fireside chats, which he used to get America through an economic crisis. This following is the intro segment of his second fireside chat.
In that way, I tried to make clear to the country various facts that might otherwise have been misunderstood, and in general to provide a means of understanding, which I believe did much to restore confidence. Tonight, 8 weeks later, I come for the second time to give you my report, in the same spirit and by the same means, to tell you about what we have been doing and what we are planning to do.
Yet they know that he'll protect them. That's why he got a lot of the evangelical vote.
The host is referring to the Amish community, and the host acts as a scorekeeper as he attempts to build Trump's reputation by convincing radio listeners that Trump has the best interests of evangelicals in mind.